So recently I saw this video that really annoyed me. Not because it was offensive. Actually, it was offensive. It's because I know exactly who's watching. It's good men, single men who get rejected, end up in the friend zone. Men who've been told their whole lives to be nice, to be helpful, to be considerate. And these are the same men that are either they're in the friend zone by women they desire, or they're lying in bed next to women who treat them like roommates in relationships. These are the provider guys, the non-desirable lovers. And the video of the title was How to Get Women into Bed. And the sickening advice was do more chores, be more helpful, take more off her plate. Now, guys, if you've tried this and if you're watching this right now wondering, why doesn't she want me? Why doesn't she have ever designed me when I've done all this and I'm doing everything for her? Why do I keep getting friend zoned? And no matter how nice you are, so keep watching this video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the misleading video, and then I'm going to tell you the hard truth that nobody else has the guts to say. And the truth about why being a good guy is killing your love life. And then if you stick around, I'll show you exactly what creates desire, the attraction, the passion with a woman. So not what society has programmed you, but what actually works. Gentlemen, welcome to Masculine Charisma. I'm your coach, Faisal, and I help nice guys break free from the prison of the people pleasing, being a doormat, being walked over their whole life, and finally being desired, charismatic, more masculine in the relationship and in life so that they can get what they want. So let's start by playing this video. All right, so you just saw the video. So what do you think? So the guy seems like a decent guy. He's reasonable looking. He has an attractive wife. And the big seduction secret is the textbook nice guy approach. Do all the household chores, right? Load the dishwasher, sweep the floor, take out the rubbish, the trash, as you guys call it in America. Anticipate all her needs. Do more than your share. And somehow, magically, she'll desire you. Now, if you're single and you did this in your past relationships, or you think you have to do this in your future relationship, this is exactly the same mentality that gets you friend zoned, gets you rejected. Doing more favors, being more helpful, always being available, thinking that this is what's enough and being nice will get you the woman. Suddenly, she'll see you as a romantic option. This is the same broken blueprint, just at a different stage. See, if this sounds familiar, just keep watching, because what really is happening is you're stuck in the nice guy contract. You know the one I'm talking about. It's the unspoken deal you've made. If I'm good enough, if I do good, and if I do enough, if I sacrifice a lot and enough, she'll want me. And then you see how much she cares. Then she'll finally give me all the intimacy, all the stuff I'm craving. But the hard truth is, brother, she never signed that contract, right? You did it all in your head. And that's what's called a covert contract. Now, if you're resentful because she's not holding up on her end of the bargain, and she's she never signed to that agreement. Now listen carefully, because this is where nice guys get very defensive. You're thinking, well, so you want me to be an asshole? You want me to stop helping? You want me to be more selfish? That's not what I'm saying. That's black and white thinking. So it's exactly why you get stuck is with this black and white thinking. Here's what I'm actually saying. Be a good partner is not the same as being a sexually attractive and masculine man she craves. They're two different things. You can have both, but what I am calling is what I call the charismatic integrated man is that man right in the middle. But right now, you're only one. You are the one who's a great partner. You're helpful. You're considerate. You're being nice. You're being responsible. And women appreciate that the way she'd appreciate a really good assistant or a friend, but not a lover. See, chore play is not foreplay. Domestication is not seduction. You cannot negotiate your way into desire. Let me show you exactly what I mean. Now, there's a book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. Now, he's written by my mentor. It's like reading so many of the posts I see in, Facebook. So there's a guy called Jason, and he says, the other day I cleaned the kitchen. I did a really good job. I loaded the dishwasher. I did the pots and pans. I swept the floor. I thought Heather would be, really appreciate all the thing I'm doing. Before I was finished, she walks in and asked, how come you didn't wipe the counter? And Jason said, I wasn't even done yet, but instead of noticing everything I did well, instead of thanking me for it, she focused on the one thing I hadn't finished. Now, can you feel his frustration? That sense of I can never do enough. That's the nice guy trap right there. See, Jason continues, he said, then there's the sex thing. We only messed around a few times before marriage because we're both Christian. Now, sex is really important to me, but Heather she isn't as interested. I thought once we got married, everything was supposed to be great. After all, I do a lot for Heather. You think she'd be willing to give me just the one thing I really want. Because I hear a lot of divorced and married men say, she's not really into sex, but when you hear that, but in my experience, women who say that they're not really into sex, they just haven't been awakened by a man who's really into masculine energy, because a lot of guys do mechanical and transactional sex, right? So I was guilty of this. Anyway, let's go back to Jason's story. So did you catch what he said? After all I do for her. And that's the contract. That's the unexpectation rules that he has, right? So let's listen to the next part. I do as much more than other guys, right? So he's doing much more. I feel like I'm always the one giving more than I get. All I want to do is to be loved and appreciated. Is that asking for too much? Gentlemen, if you've ever felt like this, right? I know I have, and I've done so much in my own relationships. Just remember that you're not broken. You're not doing anything morally wrong, but you are unconsciously doing something that kills attraction. And it's not your fault. It's you haven't been taught. Your programming is out. Nobody taught you how to do it properly. So why is this terrible advice exist? Why are men being told that chores equal more attraction? Well, here's the truth. You see, modern women are overwhelmed. They're working full-time jobs and they're managing the household and the jobs and the kids, and they've lost that community support. You see, women in the past for thousands of years had that support. They had tribal women helping them out, and everybody shared the workload. Nowadays, we have two people and she expects everything from her partner, the emotional and the physical support, and so do you. So yes, she does need the help. She does need you to be her partner, but that's where everyone gets this wrong. Here's a hard truth about nobody wants to say. Taking stress away from a woman helps her relax, for sure, absolutely. But a relaxed woman is not the same as a turned-on woman. See, women are lying on the couch, stress-free, watching Netflix. She's all relaxed. But is she aroused? Relaxation and desire are two completely different states. You have to create desire. aroused desire, flame desire. And domestication doesn't create either. You want proof? Do you remember the book 50 Shades of Grey? Now, it's one that sold 150 million copies. Women couldn't put it down. It was labeled as mummy porn. Was Christian Grey doing the dishes? Was he folding the laundry, vacuuming the house? Hell no. Okay, all right, so he was a billionaire and we don't have the same luxuries, but that's not the point. Look at romance novels, erotic novels, right? The man is being dominant, he's being decisive, powerful, leading. That's what creates the fantasy, the desire. And that's the biggest problem phenomenon in modern day romance. Because what people don't understand, the biggest sexual organ in a woman is her mind first. Not just her body, right? Her mind. So you have to seduce her mind first. You have to seduce her emotions. And then you also have to seduce her energetically. So it's not just about her body. So before you can physically seduce her body, you have to seduce everything of you. And doing the dishes, loading the dishwasher, yeah, it's admirable, but that doesn't touch her heart. It doesn't ignite her imagination. She doesn't fantasize about that. And it makes nothing to do to seduce her. So I need you to understand one thing. You're operating from a broken blueprint. It's the one that your mother told you and loved you about. She's taught you that she wants a man to be nice, not the man she's attracted to. I know this personally because I got this advice being raised by a lot of women around me was to be nice, to be soft, to be sweet. But like them, it killed my masculine energy. I was over feminized. I over cultivated my feminine energy. And the scary thing is that boys around me, the young family around me, the women are saying the same thing. They're losing their masculine edge and they're becoming providers and not lovers. But you can do both. The sexual side is being suppressed by mothers and the women in the family and also the women at school. They're suppressing because it's wrong, it's shameful, the masculinity is wrong, it shouldn't be allowed out. But if you look at bad boys, they're not afraid of their sexual energy. Neither are masculine men who own their masculinity unapologetically and they stand proud, but they're also controlling of it. Now, this is where a lot of idiot men who have lack sexual control, they're acting like jerks in public and private places, harassing women. That is a lack of control. This is not what I'm talking about. Society told you to suppress your masculine energy because of those certain idiots. And you probably have a lot of sexual shame around this. This is what I call the sexual fracture. So the sexual fracture leads to addictions, hiding your true desires and your performance issues and what you want to be. When you have sexual fractures and you also say, I don't want to be like the other guys, you become agreeable. You always put others first. You're way too nice. You learned the lesson of being nice. You become the nice guy. And that's why, because nice guys finish work because you're always overgiving. You're always trying to overfix things, over accommodating, always doing more, hoping somehow eventually you'd get the love and desire you're craving. But nice guys don't finish last because the world is unfair. Nice guys finish last because they're not playing the game correctly. So if you're sitting on the sidelines, keeping scores, waiting for someone else to notice how good you've been, then listen to me. Women don't want to be, they don't want the servant. They want you to be the man, right? They don't want the guy who's constantly asking for permissions, but actually they want the man, someone who leads, right? Someone who sets boundaries, someone who creates sexual polarity, creates tension, excitement, leads, someone who has the capacity to say no, someone who can be kind and strong, also helpful and competent, right? So you can be a good partner and be sexually desired, but you have to remember, stop negotiating for intimacy. It's not sexy. Stop hoping. Stop playing small. Stop being logical about it. Stop waiting for permission to be powerful. The truth is, gentlemen, you're not a nice guy because you're nice. You're a nice guy because you're afraid. There's a lot of fractures. You're afraid of conflict. You're afraid of rejection. You're afraid of being seen selfish. You're afraid of your own masculine power. and the fear is keeping you trapped. Your fear of like wanting to be liked all the time. So in the future, sexless relationship or friend zones where you aren't being appreciated or desired will keep you stuck. When you are useful but not wanted, I know this and it really hurts because I have helped a lot of guys break from this. So men just like you who got stuck in the nice guy prison, wondering, I'm doing everything right and yet I felt so wrong. I deserve more than this. I deserve to be desired, not only for your domestications to be a role of providing, but I want to feel wanted. I want to be wanted for who I am. So the transformation starts by healing the 5 masculine fractures that keep you stuck in the nice guy syndrome. So if you're ready to break from this, if you're ready to heal this, stop being the nice guy, the safe choice for the friends or the friend zone, and start being the man she can't resist, check out my website. Check out masculine.co. I offer both group coaching and one-on-one coaching. It's specifically designed for men who want to recover from the nice guy syndrome, single guys, because you don't want to be the asshole, but you want to be the attractive guy, right? So you just need to stop being afraid of your own power. You need to go out, reclaim your masculinity, and stand proud as a man. I'll see you in the next one.